I am really happy to be here with a good friend of mine, Sid DeBoer, and he's been the elusive and reluctant interview, but I really wanted to because we've been friends for a long time, and I know Sid from Southern Oregon University as president of the board, and I know he's been super active in Shakespeare and a huge contributor, Karen and Sid DeBoer, to so many great things here in Ashland. So the first thing I want to really ask you, Sid, is tell me a little bit about your background and how long you've been here.
Well, I was born in Eugene on Friendly Street, and my dad moved here to Ashland when I was 3 years old. So we lived on Clay Street, and I was raised with my 5 brothers and sisters. And went to Bellevue School, and then Ashland Junior High, and Ashland High School. And the junior high was where Safeway is now. It was a beautiful old building. They tore it down and built the Safeway there. But it's a nice little history. My dad was a car dealer on the plaza in Ashland, and I was raised in the car business and always was there, either washing cars, loop rack work, changing tires, whenever I could make a little extra money for my college or for my spending money when I was young. And in 1968, I was working for my father. I went to work full time in '64 at the store right on the plaza downtown Ashland. It's where the police station little annex is. It's on that lot there. Actually, there was a little bigger building there then, but my father, had a Dodge and a Chrysler store there, so I would work in there. But in 1964, I went full time. I started in the office, doing the books, learning how to balance a financial statement.
Now, Sid, I want to ask you. This is something that something I've really wondered about. Is that it has been tough the last few years, really tough. It's been tough in real estate. It's been tough in the car business. It's been absolutely rough time. And I know that your stock went to a terrible low.
Yeah, way down to less than $2 a share.
Exactly. And now it's really come back.
Well, it's back about half what it got to before. We were over 30 for a while.
Right.
Some years back, but we have hopes obviously that it'll continue to go up. It's up over $14, $15 at the current time. So.
Right.
But more than that, it pays a dividend again. The company has good cash flow. We have enough money to buy stores again.
Right.
In fact, we're buying some right now that you'll be real pleased about.
That's
But I still drive mostly Chrysler products because that's what my dad was, and they make some really good rigs again. The new Jeep Grand Cherokee is wonderful.
Yeah. Well, I've had Jeeps, so I know.
They've really improved them.
Have they?
Oh
They're
man,
really cool, huh?
They took the Mercedes chassis while Mercedes owned them, and then developed the Jeep around that. So it's got all the Jeep of a Jeepness, plus it's got the quality and quiet performance of a Mercedes. So.
Wow, I'll have to test drive. I'll have to get out.
You can borrow Karen's.
Okay, good. I'll try yours, Karen.
I think she has her 12th Jeep.
So I know you like them. Well, what I want to ask you though is that how did you come back? I mean, when things are when they're that bad, how do you get your teams to stay positive, and how did you do that? I mean, I know that you're a super hard worker, and you just put your head down. But how do you think? I mean, what do you do when things are that bad?
It's the new normal. So we have to get rid of all the debt we have. We have to cut all kinds of people. We have to get rid of any store that won't make money in the foreseeable future or that is being challenged by this recession, and sell everything as early as you can. And we just took an axe to it all and restructured the company. And I say we in that there's a new younger group that's actually running the company now, which I'm very excited about because it means I can have a little more time. But for years I told them things didn't just always go up.
Right.
And we need to be careful and not get too far in debt, not get too far ahead of ourselves.
Right.
And luckily they listened to that, but I don't think they ever really believed me that it could go down.
That bad. Could be that bad.
Because this is about as bad a recession that we've been through that the world has seen since the 30s.
Exactly.
Because I was in one in the 80s and even the 90s, and then there's 2000. It seems like every 10 years we get one, but boy, this one was brutal.
No.
This one was brutal.
Exactly.
And now they have seen that, and they're so much better for it.
Exactly. We've all learned a lot, haven't we?
Yeah, and technology enabled us to cut layers of people, which is sad because there's a lot less people working in the company in those jobs. The jobs that really matter now to us are the ones that touch the customer. The salesman, the service writers, and those types, and as few as support people as we can get by with.
Right.
And let those people be empowered and take care of our customers. Actually, I think we're giving better customer service than when we had the layers.
Yes.
Because people didn't feel as accountable. They just kind of did what they were told.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
It gets to be like the government, you know,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Exactly.
What time is it? When do I get to go
Yeah,
home?
how do I get out of here?
We don't have any of that anymore.
Well, we all know, I mean, Ashland's a small town, and so we all are so tied together here, you know, and so we all want to do well, you know, and we know if we support each other that, you know, that happens. And I know you have that philosophy just because your involvement in Southern Oregon University. So how did you first get involved in helping Southern Oregon University?
Well, when I was at Stanford, I went a few years at Stanford, and it was a liberal education, and it changed my life, and I became a believer in higher education from that. So when I moved back into the world of higher education, I wanted to do something where what I was and what our company was could make a difference.
Sure.
And I think we have had some impact. I mean, I know you have as well. The Center for the Visual Art, we made a major donation. We're on the fundraisers. I've been on that board for pushing 20 years, and you know, it's just a real love of higher education that founds the desire to help, and then localizing it and being able to have your life make a little difference is probably really important for both Karen and I think we'll continue as long as we can.
Absolutely.
Southern Oregon University, you know, to us is a liberal education. They have a very good core program, and I think that's really helpful and useful because it helps people grow up.
Yes, doesn't
And
it?
you learn that you didn't really know very much.
Until you
And
kinda
the
got
world
out
is
there.
really a big world, and
It is.
and the more you know about the world, the less you know that you don't really know, and it's really hard to get these rigid personalities and rigid opinions about things. It makes you a better person because you
Good.
accept
That's a good
more
point.
ways of working with others, and you accept more religions, you accept more of the way people go about things.
Exactly.
And the whole world needs to move more to that,
Don't
and
we?
less of the right and the left wings.
Yeah, work together.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Now, Sid, I want to ask you about the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. I mean, I know you live 2 blocks from there, okay? You could live anywhere you want, anywhere in the world. So, has that influenced you at all?
Well, I probably couldn't live anywhere I want because I own too much here and the business is here. So
That's
this
true.
is.
But,
But
you
no,
know.
even if I could, I would
Yeah.
want to live here.
Yeah.
The Oregon Shakespeare Festival created Ashland's cultural base,
Sure.
and it made Ashland like a suburb of a big city without any of the bad problems of a big city. Hundreds of restaurants and places to go, and tourists coming and going. It's
Fun.
very exciting,
It
no
is.
question. And then the art itself. We just watched Julius Caesar on, what was it, Saturday night. And it was a
Great.
wonderful, different play. I mean, can you believe that Julius Caesar was a woman
Oh
in
my
the
gosh,
play?
really? I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, Vilma Silva. She's wonderful.
Oh my
Velma
gosh.
Silva. She's a wonderful actress, and she did carry it off. But they
Wow.
had to change the script to say her and she
I can
instead of
hardly wait.
him and her and him, and he.
Oh my gosh, I bet that was
It
really
was, it's
fun.
exciting, but
We're gonna see
the
it.
art has brought something to our life that we wouldn't find without traveling somewhere.
Yes.
Being able to go, we try to get to every play all year. In fact, this season we're going to get to every opening, unless
Wow.
our schedule interferes with it in some way. We've been to 5 plays so far.
That's
All
wonderful.
the openings, because they're big time. The
They
openings,
are.
they're
They
fun.
are. They're exciting.
Yeah,
They're fun.
the artistic directors are sitting there, and the directors that did the play, and everybody comes. So it makes a
Right.
nice community event.
It does.
I was
But-
on their Shakespeare board for, I think, 3 3-year terms. No, 2 3-year terms and 2 4-year terms.
I thought so. I
Yeah,
thought
a long
so.
time. They've
Yeah.
rarely asked people to come back, but they did make the mistake of asking me, so I served 2 times.
The SOU and this one.
Yeah.
So, what would you say? What is the greatest passion in your life?
Karen.
I thought so. I knew that was the
I was
case.
so lucky to find my girlfriend from when I was a young teenager, and she was too, and be able to connect, almost 20 years ago now,
Oh boy.
with someone that you always cherished, and be able to do that in your old age is pretty nice. But obviously I love my work too, and
Yes,
I
of
like
course.
golf real well.
Absolutely.
Although I'm not a very good golfer, and
You're
I
a
don't
very
have,
good golfer. I play golf with
I
you.
don't have a very good attitude on a golf course. Anyway, I beat the ground a little.
That's okay.
Yeah, it is frustrating not to play well, but every once in a while you hit that perfect shot, and then you're back.
It keeps you back.
Yeah,
Keeps it coming
yeah.
back. I know exactly. Jay.
And then the family takes a lot of time up because we have between us 5 children and 12 grandchildren, and
Wow,
so
nice.
all the involvement with them. It's been pretty exciting to be able to live their lives as they grow up. The oldest grandchild turned 21, and I believe the youngest is 2.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah. So we got quite
Isn't
a
it the
spread.
best?
Yeah,
It couldn't be any
It's
better.
great. You get to have the good times with them and then give them back to the parents.
Exactly, we have that too. We really like it. Well, one thing, what do you think, I like to ask everybody this question that I interview, and that is, what do you like the most about living in Ashland?
Well, I love the feeling that we have about each other here. People really care about one another, and we know so many people.
Sure.
I mean, I don't, know of you could do that if you moved to a big city or someplace else, and you built a lifetime of friendships. And then another thing I really like is there's a lot of people move in here from California and elsewhere, and they bring a whole new world. And if we can get them involved right away, it just means so much to the community, because they often have the wealth or ability to help with some of the institutions we have. But more than that, they need friends, and they just love the idea that, gee whiz, you guys include us, and away we go. And,
Exactly.
and it's really fun. I mean, that's part of Ashland, certainly.
It is.
And then the different cultures that are here. People honoring the earth, people honoring the green movement, and then people caring about the world. You have all these things going on all the time.
Exactly.
Even the homeless people have a role here. I mean, they've been recognized, and we do all we can to support them.
Yeah. Now, Sid, besides Southern Oregon University, we're really known for the good schools that we have here. So how are you involved in that, and how can people get involved in that, helping the schools?
Well, they have the Ashland Schools Foundation,
Oh, right.
and we give generously to that. And it is an extra support that provides funds for some of the extracurricular things and makes the Ashland schools like they were when maybe I went to school there and when Karen and I went to school there. Because there's been so many cuts over the years from
Absolutely.
the support from the state that the local support is really important. Another thing Ashland has done, and this is really unique, in that we passed a bond measure that's good for 5 years to help pay for all the extracurricular things at the school, because
Like
they're not
what?
able.
Tell me what those are.
Languages,
Yep.
Spanish and French, and I think they've even got some Japanese and Chinese lessons, and
Exactly.
all the things that maybe the school wouldn't do if we didn't support them. And I think that's really important.
It is.
The other thing that makes Ashland unique is there's a lot of cities that have school districts that are blended between different areas and different high schools. Well, here, if you live in Ashland, your kids go to school here, you go to the high school football game. I mean, like,
Right.
This is our NFL,
Exactly.
We don't have the Portland Trailblazers, we have the Grizzlies.
And the Raiders.
And the Raiders.
Southern Oregon University
Yeah.
Raiders.
But I think that be able to live in a community and be part of a school district that's harmonious with it is really something that is precious. And
It
I think
is
a lot of
precious.
families are seeking that and move here because of it. I know a lot of our younger executives, there's several of them live here and prefer it because they could live in Jacksonville or in
Anywhere.
Medford and whatnot.
Sure.
There is a movement, though, that we all need to be part of, to quit thinking about Ashland, Medford, Grants Pass, Jacksonville, and think about the Rogue Valley.
Yes,
Because
I
each
agree.
one of those communities provides something that makes us a wonderful place to live.
I agree with you totally. I mean, we love to go to Jacksonville. We send people all over. The restaurants are good. We had all those good food co-ops
Oh,
here and
yeah.
all that stuff. We have-
There's a lot that goes on that way. I love to tell people I'm a resident of the Rogue Valley because
That's
I did raise my children in Medford because I worked there full time with my business there.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
I mean, it isn't up to me, but I just want to say that I'm just really proud to be your friend. And I mean, it is up to me to say that, but I mean, I'm just proud to be your friend. I just admire you so much, and that's why I want to do this interview. You
I
know?
feel the same, Barb. You do
Thank
so
you.
much for this community as well. And we love your hard work when anybody needs to sell a house or do anything like that. You're the place to go, I'll
Oh,
tell
thank
you that.
No, it's
You've helped me sell 2, 3 places, and how many did we buy? I don't know, we just always
great.
appreciate your professionalism and the way you go about doing that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks, Sid.
You bet.